Hello, friends. Welcome to the Say It Loud podcast. I'm your host, Matt Jones. We were joined this week by Skunk Manhattan. He's a returning guest. He was here to promote Skunkfest 2019, which Fair City Fire will be a part of. It's going to be June 29th all day at Come and Take It Live on Riverside. It's going to have all kinds of bands. Obviously, the focus is on heavier music, but throughout the day, it's going to have acoustic acts, multiple genres of rock. It's going to have a Megadeth tribute band there. But it is an all-ages show. Look up Skunkfest on Facebook, on Instagram to get your tickets. We talked about how Skunk has been balancing being a performer and being the promoter of this show. He takes it really seriously. He's been putting a lot of work into it, promoting it, and putting it together. There's going to be a lot going on. Come show your support for rock and roll music in Austin. Fair City Fire's new single, Simple Stupid, was just released. They'll be playing that at the fest for sure. You can also check that out on Spotify, anywhere you get music, that whole thing. Thanks for listening. We'll see you at Skunkfest 2019. Enjoy. So I was at Come and Take It Live, right? You were just coming from the site of Skunkfest 2019.
Yeah, be our first time there. First time, as a part of Skunkfest as well, which we're really pumped about.
Cool, let's jump into it. Oh, wait, obviously Skunk Manhattan is here. Have a good Rogering.
Well, thank you.
Runescarred.
Yes. Thank you for saying it right.
Yeah.
We get running scared sometimes.
Some of those letters aren't even in the word.
A lot of those letters don't exist there. Yeah, so good Rogering, Runescarred. I'm actually going to be featuring a school band that I'm playing drums in. It's a school that I work at called Lone Star School of Music. And they're one of our sponsors, so early in the day we're doing that, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
because it goes, what is it, June 29th, Come and Take It Live. So go to, comeandtakeitliveproductions.com for tickets, or I'm sure you have it all over your Facebook and
yeah, we got a Facebook
stuff.
link. If you Google Skunkfest or Skunkfest Austin or Skunkfest 19, we just started an Instagram page, so for all the IG folks out there,
cool.
We'll try to get that going. And we encourage all of the bands, to share the event and all that stuff, and then all the bands have tickets, so we're trying to encourage people to buy through the bands, so the bands actually make money that way.
Cool.
And it's cheaper, and you don't have the extra charges and all that. But yeah, you can buy them online. Comeandtakeitproductions.com. It's through Eventbrite.
Well, that's cool. You should say, I think people should just look up the band. I mean, it starts at 1 o'clock. It's a 1 till whenever type of show or something like that. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Holy shit.
So it's a huge day.
It's a huge long day.
You're getting your money's worth. We have some of the, obviously, Fair City Fires in there. Our podcast friends, Fine at Fidelity.
Yes.
Obviously, the two bands, Good Rogering, Runescarred.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Rust in Peace? Is that like
a
Megadeth tribute band or something?
That's so
awesome.
Megadeth tribute band. I saw those guys in San Antonio when I went to see David Ellefson doing like an acoustic, so to speak, tour, like Storyteller or whatever, playing bass and talking about his career with Megadeth. And when in the San Antonio show, he had a band playing with him, and that was those guys. And I was like, wow, like it was really impressive. So I met those guys and invited them to do it. And last year we had Slaterica.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right, cool. Obviously the Metallica,
all the thrash stuff,
Pantera stuff, and they were the last band. And so this year I said, well, let's stick with that and do a Megadeth tribute. And with that, I mean, these guys are great, and I really hope people stick around regardless. But I also think it's really, really tough when it starts getting late for people to kind of want to stick around. And so I'm really hoping with something like that, it's like, oh crap, I'll stay for this Megadeth tribute and watch these guys. I mean, it's pretty incredible,
Yeah, I've never seen Megadeth before in my life. Like, I love tribute bands. Like, at first you go in there like, oh, this is cheesy. Oh, they even look like them. Then you start playing like, this is pretty awesome. Like, I feel like I'm at a show.
It can kind of go either way. I've seen some where you're like, you're kind of just dialing this in, and then phoning this in, and then there's others that it's just like, wow, you're really doing this justice. So I mean, there's definitely kind of we can easily scoff at tribute bands because there's so many of them, and it's. I understand from a musician standpoint, it's an easier way to get paid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right.
And I mean, I would do tribute bands too, just because of stuff. I mean, you do a tribute band though, ideally because you love the band and the music,
right?
And then. So I don't really have a problem with it, and I think it's kind of cool to have at least one of those involved. And some of the earlier bands, like the school band I'm doing, we're doing like old classic rock covers and stuff like that. So there'll be some of that, and then several original bands. And I wanted to try to do this to where I didn't want it to be just hey, you show up at 1:00 in the afternoon and it's screaming and yelling for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So I was like, really, it's kind of metal fest. I'm like, well, I'm not really pitching it as a metal fest. It's just, all day, all ages rock and roll, and we start out kind of light. We may even have like some acoustic sets at the beginning and kind of rub it up. How would you guys describe your style, your sound? Because I played with you guys one time and I just really liked the band, but I'm curious how you would describe it.
I mean, just straight up rock and roll pretty much is what we
I usually
tell
say
people.
like a more modern rock sound, like your blues rock that's coming back. I feel like now I feel like it's what we have. But I mean, even since we've switched out of that, I feel like that those borders or those walls or whatever, but rock and roll. Yeah. I mean, rock and roll is a very broad umbrella. I understand, but
I don't know. We've definitely drawn comparisons to like, the Foo Fighters, but then some people get like the Chili Peppers kind of because of Brett's bass playing really and your drumming. I think rhythm section wise, like we kind of, have some of that influence as well. But then there's the straight like rock and roll, like, classic rock. That's kind of where I come from. So there's sort of both elements are pretty strong in the band. And then Clint adds just a certain element of just...
He's the extra.
I don't know. Like, it's great.
But I like it. I wouldn't say we were like heavy or
you have heavy moments.
Soft
rock,
we can be,
but accessible, and that's what I was like really kind of going for. Is like I didn't really want anything that was just like metal until sort of the sun goes down. Like a good Roger. Like. We have 333. Then I wouldn't call them. They're not metal either. It's rock, but it's more pop sensibilities and hooks and stuff. And then you got Snakeskin Prison, which is kind of the hard rock, getting into the metal world. And then a good Rogering, which I describe as eclectic heavy rock. Which we have metal moments, but also non-metal. And then the last three bands, The Crown, Runescarred, and Rust in Peace. That's like metal.
Getting metal.
But nerdy, I really wanted to kind of ramp the show to where like it just sort of went like that. I didn't want these like metal and then drop again. I really wanted it to just kind of keep building. So you guys and Finite and those kind of bands are kind of those midday, like we're starting to really get the rock moving.
I like that.
I've caught Luke and the Lonely before, and they're great.
I love those
fantastic.
Guys. I work with Luke, man.
Cool.
And that was like part of the reason there too was like I had seen them once before at like a Lone Star function. I was like, wow, these guys are really good. And so then when Lone Star came on board and we were doing I was gonna have my school band perform early. I've kind of it was like there was that gap between like getting into the rock and roll. I don't know how would you describe that either, because it's like it's just really good.
Yeah,
it's just good. Really good, like kind of folky, kind of soulful, like But so there's I have a couple of bands like that, and then like you guys and Fine Out. So it's I don't know how to describe that, but it just I think it keeps getting more heavy and more intense. But every band brings something like also really unique. I don't think there's any two bands on the bill that really sound alike either. And that's something else I like.
Yeah, you did a great job procuring the band list and stuff. It's impressive.
It was agonizing.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
trying to go, oh God, how do I put this together? How do I, it's so many bands and it's such a long day, and I was kind of really going, and then is it too much? And the tickets, the right price, and the more we've things have developed, I feel like really confident about what we're offering and the price and everything. So before I would have been like, it's $15 and just now I'm just like, dude, this is a killer deal. Like it's an all day thing. There are great bands. If you come out at 4 or 5 in the afternoon and support your friend's band, hang out. You don't have to hang out all day, but hang out for 3 or 4 hours. There's like going to be a taco tent outside. After that, then there's the Hoax Pizza on site. Cool. So we've got La Pera as a catering company that's working with us, and they're amazing. Like just it's like super awesome food. And so we're going to have them upstairs in the VIP section. Like I said, we've got Smoking Burnouts just came on as a sponsor. We've got the Sims Foundation. I mean, we've got a lot of different organizations involved.
Yeah,
and just as a raffle, we're raffling 1, maybe even 2 guitars this year. We got tons of people doing that. So there's so many additional perks. Come hang out, watch some great bands. There's a raffle. There's this, there's that. You can donate to foundations. There's going to be all kinds of merch. We've got on-site Skunkfest merch. Bands can set up merch. So I think I really want this to be like a true communal thing. Like take this one day, come hang out, support local businesses, support local bands, and just have a great time.
Maybe we'll raffle off a shirt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like a little Fair City Fire package.
Absolutely, man.
Like
that. That's a great idea. Actually, any bands that want to do that too. Like, I'm really glad you brought that up. You know, because I've talked to companies sponsoring about that. But yeah, bands too. You know, let's throw stuff in the mix.
We did that at the Too Damn Hot Affair the last time.
Yeah, we got stuff from Sims and all the bands chipped in stuff and
it's kind of like a basket, you know.
That's awesome.
We've had James from Sims on the show before. And,
cool, man. Yeah,
we love Sims
that
for
might
sure.
Be who I was talking to. It's been a while since
He's got a pretty deep voice.
Yeah. James Whalen.
Okay.
It sounds familiar. I've been.
Yeah.
No, even in email, he's got a deep voice.
Yeah, he does have a deep. You're right.
You would know who he's talking about.
Sultry email voice.
Yeah.
So why do this to yourself?
Dude, no, this is such a legitimate question, and it's why I have to
go through all this work that you're talking about.
Go to Sims counseling.
Yeah,
no, I do too. I just did it earlier today, actually.
It's crazy, man, and it's actually it becomes a really back to the Sims. It's like actually really important to me because there's been musicians who have come out and they've said this like publicly, and I'm like, wow, and I think it's really cool when people sort of go, hey, I've had these struggles and thank you for, and you're like, wow, like that's cool. Like when people are not, I think you kind of put on this mask and this, ooh, rock and roll, woohoo, like we got to play like we're cool and everything's great all the time, but it's not, and it's a hard business and there's a lot of pitfalls and a lot of rejection and all that kind of stuff. So I think when people are really honest and say, hey, like this is not easy and we kind of can talk about that together or whatever, like that's a really good thing, So it's like for me, it's really important to raise money for an organization like that. Like it means a lot. But and then I don't know why I enjoy torturing myself. Like I just I don't know, man. Like it's
is that like an all year thing now at this point?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like I mean, so when this is but I mean so when this one's done in your mind, how much of a break do you give yourself before you start planning? Because now
probably
it seems like something
from everything.
Yeah.
No messages or phone calls from. No, so here's the thing. Like what it's like on the one hand, I'm like, wow, I'm really thankful and this is great because a lot of things have been coming up, a lot of opportunities and work and this kind of stuff in music. But on the other hand, it's like, wow, it's really easy to get quickly overwhelmed. And I've done this to myself before where I go like, I'm sort of like on this path and then this comes up and this comes up and I'm like, oh wait, I'm in 10 bands and I'm all over the place and why am I doing this to myself? So, but with Skunkfest actually, I feel like I've taken on a lot this year and really taking a chance, but there is a sort of a bigger point to it. So when I say this, I think I sent out some real long sappy email to a lot of the bands that nobody probably read. Like the first email, and then I sent out another email that was also really long that I tried to be concise with, where I was like, hey, I need to know these things, about the merch and stuff like that. But I was really trying to just I just want, like I said a minute ago, it's like I really want everyone to just know that this is actually coming from a place of like bands that I like and respect, musicians. And last year went great. There was such a camaraderie, like how many bands hung out and supported each other, whether they were metal or not. It was fantastic, And so this year, I want to grow that. And I don't expect people to hang out for 12 or 13 hours, but hang out for a block of the day, check out some bands, support each other. I hope every single band has a good crowd there for them. And I really got tired of just seeing, in the name of, Austin or... I'm not saying this about every single festival or whatever, but there's so many things that grow to this huge corporate level, like South by Southwest, which is like this awesome... thing and tourists come and it's super great and all this, but let's be honest, like how many Austin bands are playing South by Southwest? Like how much is this doing for you guys? You know what I mean? Like
if you're smart, nobody nobody gets it.
We've applied every year that we've been a band and never been accepted.
There you go. And you're paying for that. And then there's also other festivals that are charging bands to play during South by Southwest for 30-minute sets, and they're charging hundreds of dollars. And I just got tired of that. I got tired of watching that. I got tired of watching bands get screwed. And I said, it was kind of funny. It was like, everybody probably knows, Yayo, aka Kiss Guy. And a few years ago, we were talking after some like function or whatever, ran into him, and we were talking, and I was like bitching about that. And then he was like, yeah, man, just the Skunkfest, And I was like, yeah. I mean, I was just sitting there going, I'll start my own damn festival, So it really kind of like once I had a good relation with Come and Take It Live and felt like I had networked and had a nice pool of bands, I said, all right, well, screw it. I'm just going to put together, like, I think last year we kicked it off at 4, and it went really well. And there was I learned there was a few pitfalls and whatever. I'm sure there will be this year too, but this year when Lone Star School of Music got involved, that changed the game, and then I got some other sponsors involved, so it just kind of kept growing. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, now there's a catering VIP, now there's this, now there's, so it's like, okay, rolling the dice and going for it and see what happens. But at the end of the day, and I'm learning a lot. I'm learning, like, there are costs and there are this and that, and there is, accountability for everybody involved, etc. So I do understand, like, why things aren't always free, and I can understand admission fees and stuff like that moving forward. But I'm still, one way or another, like, as someone too that's done the kind of shows where you're selling tickets for a good opportunity to get, but you're not really making any money. You're making money for whoever you're selling tickets for, So I wanted to put this in a way that we're like, if the bands go out and hustle, like, the bands make money. You actually get to play on hopefully a big event and make money. Like, if you know where else to do that, let me know, because I haven't found too many opportunities like that.
Nope.
So I'm just trying to make it a win-win, for everybody that gets involved. Lots of advertising for the sponsors, opportunity and money for the bands, and just hopefully we all win. What's up, dude?
Yeah, Brody's here. You want to get a mic in?
So we got Brett hooking in, y'all. He's coming.
He's hooking in. He's hooking. Brett's hooking right now.
Check 1 2. Hey, this is me. This is me.
Cool.
Yeah.
It has other people's initials on it. It's wonderful.
So this is your second time on. For those that we did do the initial kind of like intro podcast before with Skunk. It's August 21st, 2018, last year. So you can go back and check that one out. It's like episode 47 or something.
Damn. Is that long ago, huh?
Yeah.
What episode is this?
I don't even know.
It's like
60 something, 70.
Yeah. Is it?
I think it's 63 or 63.
Oh, is it? I thought we're up higher. Never mind.
Well, we haven't been doing it that much.
Yeah, lately.
We're relaunching.
Yeah, we're getting
that was
back
episode 47. This is episode 48.
Yeah.
Anytime Skunk
Welcome to the
comes by,
Skunk Manhattan podcast.
Yeah.
So you guys should go back and listen to that too. When we covered a lot of that, like the intro and all you're getting into it and all the naming stuff for the bands. Actually, how's the
God knows what I was talking
how's
about.
the merch distribution going with the good Rogering condoms? That's what I wanted to know.
Oh yeah. That's
I'd like to say we're selling millions of them, but there's just so many irresponsible people out there.
How many babies have you?
Too many babies. We're not selling enough. I keep seeing babies.
Would it be great if there was like a tracking number you could go online with the condom and say when and where you used it?
I should do that. Send us pictures of your used.
Yeah.
No wait, hold on.
Yeah. Rethinking.
Every time a package opens, you get like a bling.
Yeah. You want splat. You want some metrics for your merch, right? You want to know
metrics for your condoms.
Yes.
So at the
I guess that was my pride and joy last time. I had just got the condoms in.
And for the, I guess you could just throw them out here at the next Skunk Fest.
Yeah, I think it's like a big party and everyone's having booze and
these condoms are all ages as well.
Everybody be safe, but these are kind of old and they've been sitting in my hot backpack, so who knows?
We've also poked holes in each one of them, go for it.
Yeah.
We don't make any guarantees.
Yeah, disclaimer, everybody.
Double bag it.
You might want to.
Classic.
Double the merch.
When you show up that day for the Skunk Fest, how are you going to be able to shift between the administrator and the performer? Like, how do you, in your mind, do that?
Right. So that's one of those things you kind of learn. And last year I was kind of running around a bit like when chicken with my head cut off, and I did have some people helping out for sure. But this year we're definitely trying to move into it with like, this is our social media person. This person's really pushing the raffle, stage hands, different people with different tasks that are working throughout the day, to where I can just sort of walk around in a robe and sort of be like, I'm Skunk, kiss my hand. You know what I mean? No, but like, so for me, it's like,
bend the knee.
Yeah, bow to me. No, it's like, and sometimes I'm like, God, does it look like that? Like I'm playing in half the bands. But so what's happened is like, obviously I'm playing in a good Rogering and Runescarred. So
the way you look, it does look like you're playing in half the bands.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I mean, I booked. So I booked those two bands. This will probably be last year that I booked both of those bands because it's just a lot. And then, of course, it's like I'm like wanting to jump on stage with like half the other bands, and it's not like, oh, look at me, I'm Skunk and I'm here again. It's just like, oh, yeah, dude, I love that. Like last year, Fine Night was like, hey, do you listen to Tomahawk? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, do you want to play it? I'm like, yeah. Another band's like, do you want to do a Faith No More song? Yeah. And then like the day of like the show, I'm like in the parking lot, like God, like trying to like memorize lyrics, It's just, and so this year I've got the school band, which is cool because we've been doing stuff for a while, and for that one, it's like I'll just be playing drums and letting them do their thing, and that's like a whole different thing. So it'll be a lot of fun. And then the main two, and then I don't know if you guys know who Bobby Bookout is. Have you ever heard of him?
No. I don't think so.
So Bobby Bookout is a guy that's been around for a while. He's got a couple of albums out. He's had kind of some different musicians that come in and out with him. And my brother actually used to play bass with him a long time ago. So I did a few shows over the years as a guitar player. And as it turns out, and so I invited him because I feel like he kind of works with Luke and the Lonely. It's like that sort of more like soulful kind of rock vibe.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, is he soul? Like he's kind of like a soul. Then you
know what I mean? Like it's that kind of thing. And so like I kind of had him and Luke and the Lonely, and then you guys and find like you know what I mean? Like I was saying, like kind of revving it up.
Yeah.
And so I invited him on, and he was like I think some people I think it's. Hopefully kind of getting more out that hey, this is a rock festival, it's not like metal all I'm really trying to like make sure people like oh no, I don't want to go metal all day. And he was like, I don't know, man, metal my crowd. And I'm like, no, dude, this is like I'm totally trying to do the opposite of that in the day. It's like I want people to bring kids and
cool,
all ages, come out there, have a good time, hang out for several hours, see some rock bands. You can stay as long as you want. It's not going to get heavy until later at night. And so he's like, and we've known each other a long time. He's a great guy. And he's like, okay, cool, I'm in, da-da-da-da. And then as it would have it, his guitar player, who's one of my favorite guitar players here in Austin, actually, Blake Atwell, and he's that's like the one day of the year he's got like a wedding commitment thing. So anyway, so then he's like, I don't have a guitar player. So I'm playing guitar with him that day. So as it turns out, yeah. So it's like, okay, but I played with him before. It's a shorter set. It's like, okay, cool, we'll make this work. So yeah, it's kind of going to be like a couple of times up early in the day. Not so much planned, and then later in the day, the two bands. And then, of course, I'm like, I kind of want to do a Megadeth song, too.
Yeah.
So I might hop on stage with another band. But,
jeez.
But that's the way you prefer it, obviously. Like, you'd rather be on stage all day instead of doing the
That's the thing, is like,
yeah.
I'll kill myself and go, why am I doing this? But when I'm on stage doing it, like, I mean, it's fun. I love it. It's like, I really enjoy doing it. So I'm just going to, I need someone to just, like, next year go, no. You are limited to two bands. Like you may not be on stage more than this many times. But as it grows, I think there's so many great bands here and in surrounding areas and this and that, and I want to keep growing it. And so there's plenty of other bands to feature. Obviously, I don't intend for it to be like, come watch me play with my 12 bands every year.
Yeah. Right.
Is that, I mean, in terms of the next few years, do you just see kind of maintaining a Come and Take It Live presence and then just growing it, trying to keep the name moving, partnerships?
I mean, obviously, I want to keep growing it. I mean, Come and Take It Live right now is the perfect venue. They're all great guys that I've known and worked with and had, successful shows with in the past. So it makes sense to do it there. They've got the upstairs, they've got the outside patio. So there's a lot of... I think it's a really great venue on a lot of levels. Great sound, lights, the whole nine. I would love for it to obviously grow, though, to a point where I could do the whole big outdoor thing and all that. But that's a whole nother level of stuff that I haven't looked at yet. So we'll just kind of see how it goes this year, and each year we'll just assess. And on that note, too, it's really kind of made me go, looking at other, even in other cities. I was talking to a promoter in San Antonio. I was like, well, we'll do a Skunkfest here too or something. So we may even expand it out and do, a couple of times a year in different cities. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but
right.
Yeah. So
can you, will you be able to enjoy it, like be happy with it? Or do you think it's just going to be like, because a lot of people, I think on their wedding day, they're like, I don't even remember. I was just like from place to place to place, and then at the end, I was like, thank God it's over.
It was kind of like that last year.
Sure.
It's funny because unfortunately we don't have them doing it again this year. But we had Juiceland last year as a sponsor, and they provided a bunch of gallon jugs of various juice backstage for the bands, which I thought was really cool. And I had gone back to back with, which I'm not doing this year. I'd gone back to back with my two bands, and I mean I was just killing myself. And I got off stage and drank half a gallon of beet juice or something. And dude, the next morning, I peed, and I was just like, oh my God. I thought I was dying, and I was like, oh right, beet juice.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, but that was I was literally thank God for this gallon of juice. I was just about to pass out, man, because it was pretty intense. But so and then there was some, like I said, there was some pitfalls and this and that, and I was exhausted, But just, I think for me, the next day, seeing all the the venue was let's put another date on the calendar, and all the bands were sharing stuff on social media, and it was just this really, really positive sort of thing afterwards, like made it all worthwhile. So I'm just hoping that if that happens, I'm willing to like kill myself in the process. And then hopefully as I get better at this and it gets, bigger and this and that, I'll get, each year have more of a team and things to kind of organize it so it's not so much on my own shoulders. Like even this year I've got some great people working with me already, so it's taken a little bit of the pressure off.
So are the people working with you, are they like in your bands, or are they other people in the community that you know?
The guys in the bands are more or less just sort of like selling tickets, if anything, and just sort of promoting. I mean, a good Rogering's, for the most part, just kind of, I'm steering that ship anyway. So, but it's no, it's more like in a promotion level and in helping with sponsorships and promotion and stuff like that, And then, like I said, just having a team on the day of the show with everyone that's sort of got like a designated task, and having that, so I'm not having to run around ideally. And like even the catering and everything is great because then they're taking care of all that. I don't have to worry about that. And we'll have the regular wristband, we'll have the VIP wristbands, and hopefully I can just hang out and just jump on stage for when I need to, and then just kind of hang. I would love to just be able to hang out and watch the bands, and have someone else going, reminding me. Like that was one thing last year. Is like I'm like handing my brother the phone, like take pictures and put it on Instagram. You're like, what the hell, It's just like having someone that's just
do
like
Instagram.
Hey, you guys, get over here, get a picture with this band. Boom, Instagram. Get a picture with this, And so we're like kind of like documenting the whole festival as it's going and updating. I just want to make sure that we're capturing everything from every band. And and by the way, something to mention too is there'll be several photographers there. I know the band iTooth is bringing in a guy doing video, so it's another thing to just sort of I'm gonna pitch out to the bands if you want like professional photography from. Do you guys know Drift magazine? Kaylee Rose. Oh man, so. Dude, go check out Drift. Go check out her work. She's incredible. Like cool. I keep messing it up, and I'm probably saying this wrong, but she's like going to Europe and shooting Muse or something crazy like that. Like she shoots like high profile bands.
What is it called? Drift what?
Drift, and it's like Drift magazine. I'm kind of confused, but then there's like Drift photography or something. I don't know. Kaylee Rose is her name. Anyway, great work. And so she's coming on kind of, and she's featuring. I think the magazine's doing some kind of feature on Skunkfest or something. And then, and so she's going to come in. I don't know if she'll be there for the whole day, but I'm kind of like, was saying, hey, I'll pitch out your name to different bands. So if anybody's interested in some professional photography, she can get you some shots, I'm sure, for a really good rate. And then Wilkinson Image and Design is always a sponsor, but come and take it. I'm pretty sure Jim Wilkinson will be there shooting, among other photographers. So, but again, a lot of this is just things I'm like, let's support each other, if we can, I try to do that with local people and just be like, wow, you do great work. Let's do something, like throw you a few bucks, this kind of thing. So getting a lot of different people involved, and I'm sure there'll be lots of people there with cameras and this kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely mentioning those two photographers. They do like super quality work.
I'm gonna need something better when I do hashtag drift photography. It's a bunch of cars drifting.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of that,
piddle around on the phone. The next question comes and see if I can find it. And actually, I just got updated flyers. I don't know if any of you guys have anywhere around here you could whop up a flyer or two. I might give you a couple. I know Thundercloud.
You got a Joe.
Oh yeah,
Thundercloud subs. Juice
if there's one thing that Lime scooters are good for, it's fucking slapping up posters around town.
Dude, there's so many places I never realized. Like until last year, like we probably put up 100 flyers, and I want to top that this year. Like. And there's so many places you walk into, and there's like billboards and
this
stuff.
This one here, this Fair City Fire Shake Your Bones tour, was underneath the Lamar Bridge for almost a year.
Dude, almost a year, yeah.
That is really cool, man.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you have. If you
have, I will bring some in after the podcast because I literally just got, and then I've gotten 2 more sponsors since then, so I'll be doing another update. So I'll bring these in. We'll get this batch out, and that's another thing of having a street team and having bands help. And that's a huge thing that we can all just boom, boom, boom. I want so much promotion on this thing that you can't get away from it.
Right?
Just Facebook ads, Google ads, physical print, and then we'll be running radio like as the show gets closer.
Did you think about getting Justin Bieber to tweet it?
I have reached out. I have reached out to the Beeb.
So we've reached out to Justin's team.
Yeah, we've reached out to Justin's management.
To kind of tie a bow on this in the process of Skunkfest, what do you think? in doing this for a couple of years, what's kind of been the most surprising thing for you in terms of creating a festival and kind of all the humanity that surrounds it? What's kind of something you never thought about that you think about now?
That's a really good question, and I don't know.
It's probably a lot of things, I guess.
Yeah, it's like anything, It's like I don't think you really understand anything until you do it, Right. It's like it's like whenever someone goes through something and someone goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or "I'm so this," or "I'm so that." It's like, well, it's a nice sentiment, but you really can't unless it's something relatable that you've experienced yourself. And so that's in it, whether it's a tragedy or an elated happiness or a business endeavor or whatever. I just think it's. And so for me doing this, I guess to answer your question, like it would be, I really see things now like very much from a band standpoint, but also from a promoter standpoint, And so it does change things because I go, okay, I understand the costs. There's a lot of cost in advertising and all these people I'm bringing in and doing all this stuff. So I do start to go, I do get the admission fees and stuff like that now. Having said that, I still want to keep it fair. So moving forward, it's something I have to really think on. I've already started sort of laying down a business plan for next year, even just based on what I've already learned from this year, even though it hasn't even happened yet. And I think it's just like trying to create something. To try to create something where everybody wins. But I also think everyone's willing to put, you have to know like everyone's willing to put something in. And I think that's where I'm at right now. And that's how I'm going to have to treat it.
Relying on other people.
I know.
It's a gamble.
It's
see if it pays off.
It's yeah.
Human capital.
Yeah.
It's Kale Rose. Kale Rose.
Kale or Kaylee?
It just says Kale.
Doesn't sound like what he said.
Kail on her thing.
No, wait. Kaali.
It's a Kail. It says photographer, blogger, music festival, and concert guru.
Oh, well, maybe that's her.
Driftblog.com.
Well, what the hell? I don't even know her name.
Followed by a giant dog and a good rider.
Take it out. We'll take it out.
I guess that's her.
Take it out in post.
How have I been calling her by the wrong name this whole time? Maybe that's why I can't. I'm dyslexic.
We'll do some ADR after this.
Oh, yep. Everybody that is Drift, that's
Dude, I'm dyslexic.
DR. Well, it also doesn't help that it's DRIFFT, but the I is an exclamation point.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Wow.
It's really weird.
But if you go to DRIFFTblog.com,
yes.
Boom, you got yourself your pictures.
It's got shades of XXX written all over it.
Thank you for plugging that correctly. I've learned I'm dyslexic and I'm the worst. I'm terrible at plugging things, apparently. So, yeah,
that's what the condoms are.
I thought she was like Shirley though. Hey. But yeah, I mean, despite the fact I can't pronounce her name or anything like that, her work is stellar. So
awesome.
It looks great. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Let's one of the new things, or since you've come, we do this thing now where we answer the internet's most important questions. We call it the simple truth.
Awesome.
And I think you'll be good for this.
No more of the porn. What was the last one?
What was it?
It was like porn
We've
star.
done that a couple times.
Or oh my god, yeah.
Or lead singer or
lead singer of
porn star.
That was
really. That's the only reason I came on the podcast. Damn it.
We could do it.
I created Skunkfest for one purpose. It was to get back on your podcast to talk about
you should
porn
do it.
or
You should do it live that night. You just come up with some names.
Do a live one.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'll have you guys up on stage. Yeah. Okay, and now for
porn star or
lead singer.
Wait, did we do that at Too Damn Hot Affair that one year? I don't even remember.
Oh, we didn't do. I don't think we didn't
do
porn star because some of those names are pretty visual names.
Yeah.
I liked how Matt would always list the accolades afterwards.
Yeah. 2018's top anal performer.
It's my favorite thing.
That was good.
Everybody deserves an award.
You
know what?
Yeah, no,
cool. So I just written down some questions here. I was on the road today, so I just wrote them down in the notebook. Old school. But yeah, these are questions from Yahoo, which is arguably one of the smartest communities on the internet.
Is that sarcasm?
It is loaded with sarcasm.
Yeah. I was going to say
whenever you hear somebody that gives their email and they end it with
yahoo.com.
yahoo.com.
To anything
you're like,
in the news or television, I feel like a better person for it.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. Yeah, Yahoo is Satan, right? Is that correct?
Could be. Yeah.
Sure, maybe Yahoo is Satan, but the people who ask questions on Yahoo.
Maybe it's not Yahoo.
Far from Satan.
Yeah, I think there you go. They're like Satan's ball sack.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, they are.
Well, what do you think of when somebody's
Because
like,
they're
"Hey,
asking
what's your
questions on Yahoo."
email address?" And they're like, "Oh, it's Skunk Manhattan at yahoo.com." And you're like,
I
"Oh,
think
whoa,
like
hey."
get with the times.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if someone has a Yahoo, or it's like what is this like one step away from AOL, right?
Basically,
like,
yeah.
Which is another step
So
away
these
from
are the people.
PCglobal.net.
Yeah, like
These are the
That's
people
Satan
that
on
are asking these
dial-up, yeah.
questions. I think you have to have an active
Hotmail?
Yahoo account.
You
Yeah.
still have a
I do still
Hotmail?
have Hotmails actually, yeah, and it still
I
sounds dirty
I would
to
put
me.
that a tier above Yahoo
Yeah.
emails.
I
too.
would. I feel
Yeah.
like,
Oh wow.
but my Yahoo, my Hotmails filter into a more modern Gmail, so
There you go. Right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
so I can double the amount of spam.
Which is a beautiful thing.
All right, let's see if I can read my own writing. Here, just so you can get a idea. So I'll ask a question to one person at a time. We can all tag team these, you know.
Anal performer.
Yeah.
That's some good Roger condoms.
Yes. Best baby arm. All right. So we'll start with Joe.
Uh-oh.
Can I cook food in my vagina?
No way.
This is a real. This is a real Yahoo.
This is all real
now,
questions.
now these are Yahoo.
These
questions.
are all from Yahoo Answers. It's
A
called.
I
real
stand by my
question.
statement. Yeah. Wow.
Oh my god.
That's a gem.
I happen to know the
Goodness.
answer to this.
Well, I would say, how hot is that vajay? One, two,
good
because
answer.
it better be up to temperature for it to be healthy. Also, you should just keep foods out of there. I think,
Okay.
especially hot foods.
But what about like a baking sheet of cookies?
Ceviche.
Yeah,
Ooh, there we
A
go.
little lime juice.
yeah, dude. Is it like a crock pot? Is that how you-
Oh no. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, okay.
I would say if only in dire needs, in dire straits, then sure, spread them and
If you're out in the
Cook-
wild.
The question
a
isn't
stew?
should you, it's can you.
can you? Can you? No, you can't.
Yeah, all right, that's probably true.
That's
Yeah.
But if you're gonna try it, you're stubborn like me, then let us know what you come up with. You know, I feel like
Statistically, it says one in 5 people will try this. So
yes,
that means one of us 5 will go home to
Yeah.
to a woman and say, "Hey,
but I feel like if you
want to try something?"
Hey.
Yeah.
But I
Here's
feel
a
like if
couple
you do
kernels.
cook,
Yeah,
if
hey.
you do cook in your vagina, the only thing you're gonna get is
Popcorn?
And I don't know if you out there plays Breath of the Wild, the Legend of Zelda. But when you cook something that is not like any ingredients that need to go
Dubious
together,
food.
you get dubious food that actually on the screen
It's
is
all blocked
like
out.
it's blocked out, like it's
dot
it's
matrix
blurred,
blurred.
so you
Pixelated.
because it's pixelated because it's so gross food that it's pixelated. So I think if you do, you're only gonna get dubious food out of that.
That's a good answer, I think.
I love the idea of someone
So-
going,
4-bit cooking.
"Hey, I got a hanker of some queso tonight, sweetie." So
Yeah.
let's,
Here's a
get you
block
up-
of cheese.
Get you upside down.
Velveeta and some.
There's an award for that somewhere.
Yeah. All right.
Someone's won that on the ABNs.
So anyway, so all these answers always get we just type up the whole thing and no, not really.
We need to. People
We
are
should.
wondering.
People need to know these answers.
This could be a blog in of itself.
It could. It really could.
All right, Brett.
Yes.
How could I get high from sniffing Pepsi?
Oh man. Maybe boil it, and as it's evaporating, put your face over it.
Put a bunch of meth in it.
Yeah. Throw a bunch of cook a bunch of meth. Put it in the Pepsi.
Yeah.
Boil it. Inhale the fumes.
My first
think that would
drink
do it.
ever was Jack Daniels when I was like 16, and I mixed it with Pepsi because I didn't know any better. I was like, "Oh, you just need a cola." So one of my friends got Jack Daniels, and I bought one of those skinny 16-ounce Pepsis, and we brought it to the movie theater. Of course, I poured out half the Pepsi and filled the other half with Jack Daniels because I didn't know. Not only was Jack and Pepsi the worst thing in the world, but basically triple Jack and Pepsi was the worst. And I threw up in the movie
Oh wow.
theater trash can. I couldn't even. I took 2 sips and I had to run to the back.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
another
That's a way to do it.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Yeah,
too,
it's one way to
I'd
do
say
it.
switch to Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Coke. You probably used to be able to sniff some Coke.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Coca-Cola.
You still can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stiff Coke whenever you want to.
All right.
I think that was a good answer.
Brian.
Yes.
Should I do karate or take hip hop classes?
That's a pretty innocent question.
Yeah. Which could also determine
The rest of their
complete
life, yeah.
of this kid.
Yeah, those are two very different paths.
They
you're
are
gonna take. They both require a lot of discipline. I think.
Flexibility.
To be good at both. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can go wrong here.
Or you could be like Carl Douglas, who did Kung Fu Fighting, which was hip hop and martial arts.
I'm gonna say.
What was the Taibo guy? What was his
Billy
name?
Blaine or something? Or
Is it
Billy
Blanks?
Billy Blanks?
I think it's
Yeah.
Blanks.
So I'm gonna say, take some karate because it has some more practical use out in the world. Because the world's getting more and more fucked up. You need to know how to defend yourself, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Or sister.
But you also need
What
to
if
know
you're
how
gonna
to pop
party and you
lock.
just want to get
bad
fucked?
rhymes.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
might
that's
be
true.
able to
That's a good point. You might be able to ward off attackers with mad
with
rhymes.
mad rhymes. Yeah.
I think you probably ward
Yeah.
off more attackers with mad
Damn, I
rhymes.
was gonna rob you, but
Yeah.
fucking rhymes are so
Yeah,
tight.
Dude,
It's
this
so tight.
some
Yeah.
dope ass rhymes, man.
Now
Matter
I'm
of fact,
thinking my whole life.
You just
I
made a
don't
whole
know.
rhyme
Take
about
my
how I
wallet.
was going to rob you, and now...
So now I don't know. I was so sure. But I think hip hop might be more practical.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
I've seen a rise in hip-hop. I haven't seen a rise in
Well,
martial
Brian,
arts.
decide for this person.
Their life is in your hands, Brian.
I think I've been convinced to change my answer to hip hop.
Hip hop
Hip-hop.
classes.
Yeah.
yeah.
For very practical reasons.
All great hip hop
self-defense.
artists came from hip hop classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Where'd you get your
self-defense.
start?
Yes.
Oh yeah, a sunny day, hip hop in the summer
It'd be
program.
like the
That's where
modern
I
Elvis,
started.
though,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It could be like Eminem, but with karate.
I think when you said hip hop, I was assuming hip hop dance.
That's what I thought too.
That's what I was
When I wrote
thinking.
that down there, I
Yeah.
think that's what I thought, and now I'm realizing there's no dance here.
But so now it's like
I did.
Yeah.
now I think you can assume that we mean sick rhymes and you can
And
ward
plus
off
dancing.
plus dancing.
Maybe
so
it's
you can really-
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a whole curriculum.
you can ward
Yeah.
off any sort of attackers
Sick
with
dancing
dancing
is kind
and
of karate in
rhymes.
itself, if
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
So
You can always cut someone with your words,
Yeah, that's true.
send
Your
them home
words cut
crying.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give
So
them
yeah.
a little the crane kick of poetry. Yeah.
hip hop all the way.
All right. Skunk. Why does my arm shake and turn bright red when I'm eating dirt?
People.
Might be
you
doing it
guys
wrong.
Gotta do something else.
I mean, we were all kids once, but these millennials, I don't know, man.
Yeah, like it's a millennial problem.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like the new trend now. Like, eat dirt until your arm turns red.
See, kids
you
don't
know?
spend enough time outside, so
I
now,
guess
so when they
that's-
see
yeah.
dirt,
Like,
ooh,
They don't know what to do with it.
Tide
They're just like, do I eat this?
yeah.
Do I play
I don't
it until
even-
my arm turns red?
I don't even know where to start with this question. Like, I haven't eaten dirt that I'm aware of, not intentionally.
I wonder.
But even if I have or did, I don't think it's going to turn my arm red. Like, I don't know what even the correlation there
Do you remember
is.
the last time you had dirt in your mouth?
It's also
Anybody?
like you should just
It's probably
go
a bike
inside.
accident
Just
or
go
something?
inside, kid.
I think, for me, it was minor league baseball,
Oh, yeah.
like
All
middle
right,
school,
yeah.
like sliding head first into home or something like
just
that,
going head straight down like the.
and just like
Maybe that's what
catching
they
a
meant by
mouthful of
eating
dirt.
dirt. Maybe that's
Oh,
we're,
yeah.
we're not getting the metaphor that they're a ball player.
We need more context.
Yeah.
They're eating dirt.
Eating dirt.
You know, like from like they're a pitcher. Their
Okay.
arms getting sore and turning red. They're licking their hand. I'm just gonna assume this is a really intelligent baseball
You're
player.
giving them a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I think
Or maybe
I think the
they
last
were-
time I ate dirt was at a farmer's market. Actually, they were selling these roots things, and I don't think I did it right. I don't think I just started.
Yeah, the last time I
eating
ate,
dirt.
what is
Yeah.
that?
I
Turmeric?
remember that.
Started
Yeah,
throwing-
like Sprouts
throwing-
or something.
I think
like
I just started throwing dirt in my mouth. I got duped.
Yeah.
Get
That's
dirt.
funny.
Maybe they were pulling the dirt out of an oven.
Mm.
Ooh,
Mud pies.
Yeah.
Maybe it was out of a vagina.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I like dirt.
That is an interesting STD.
Yeah.
Turns your arm red. Dirty.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's a whole other meaning to the word dirty vagina.
Woo.
There's only one meeting before. Yeah.
That's good.
Let's do one more for everybody. Let's see. I guess these are all for everybody. Do we want something about Do we want something about fishing, or do we want something about getting bitten?
Well, Brett just went fishing. Also bitten though.
I did hang with Kentucky's top angler for 3 days straight.
I think you got to send this one to Brett.
All right,
we
Brett.
should do
Directly.
fishing.
We could try to help him, but
Direct it to Brett.
Is rainbow trout a good name for a baby girl?
Wow. Yeah, that had everything to do with fishing.
Yeah, but nothing to do with fishing at the same
I didn't know
time.
he was going to do something like that.
What's the bitten one?
I
think we can all agree rainbow trout is a wonderful name.
Yes,
for a girl.
beautiful name.
Easy.
Yeah.
If I get bitten by a 6-year-old, would I turn into a 6-year-old?
I don't think that's how that works.
If
Not
you
a
think
doctor.
that might be the case, then you are already mentally a 6-year-old.
Yes.
Also, like, if all you needed was an answer so that it stopped you from, like, getting into a situation where you're getting bit by a 6-year-old, no, it won't. So stay away from that 6-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I don't want you
General
living
rule.
in my neighborhood.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
trust you.
Yeah, you know what?
Stay away from all 6-year-olds.
Stay away from that.
Yeah.
That's
Just
6-year-old.
good
There's a place for you.
I'd
It's
say
called
that-
jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that what getting bit by a 6-year-old does. It puts you in jail.
Yeah.
So I would try to stay.
Let's look
to
at the
not-
bigger question here. Why are you getting bit by a 6-year-old?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
to this
Exactly.
6-year-old?
How old are you?
That's
And-
the best advice that this show has ever given.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Stay away from
6-year-old
6-year-olds so you don't get bitten.
Yeah, any kids
Pretty
that aren't
good
yours,
hashtag,
just
you
get
know?
away from them.
Yeah.
Skunkfest 19, you were in no danger of being bit by a 6-year-old.
Right.
There you go.
Was that a promise?
I hope so.
That wasn't a yes.
I hope I don't have to come in and apologize on podcast 49.
Yes.
We're
Cool.
sorry for those of you who were bitten by 6-year-olds at the skunk.
So next year's Skunkfest will not be all ages due to the high influx of 6-year-old biting that took place last year.
Dude, City Fire unleashed rabid
It's going to
6-year-olds.
be like children of the
The
corner.
emergency room was just lined with people with red right arms. We're serving dirt in the parking lot.
6-year-olds played in dirt before they bit
It was
me. 'cause now
crazy.
I've got
A
this
bunch
going
of
on.
6-year-old girls named Rainbow Trout running around biting everybody.
Skunkfest, we're offering vagina cooking.
Yeah. Don't have the queso.
This podcast has brought me tons of bad ideas for Skunkfest moving forward.
Vagina cooking would be a great food truck, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really get out
Nature's Pocket.
I think it's Ina Garten.
The thing about it is, it's like that's terrible, but there would be some people that are like, it sounds like so nature and cool, and like I just want to eat from someone's vagina.
there. You could sell that.
Yeah.
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 It's not the worst thing.
I'd eat some
There are
Reese's
worse.
Pieces from there.
Right.
I mean, as a group of guys, we're like, well,
This could go. This could go
All
bad.
right. Cool. So let's do.
Oh, you had that box of nerds.
All right. So we've got Skunkfest 2019 is on June 29th from 1 o'clock till close. Come and take it live on Riverside. Everybody knows where it is.
Woo.
Buy tickets from the bands. Are you at the point now where you can do like the quick Rolodex of band names? You know most
Yes.
of them? Yeah.
So we may have an unannounced, as of now, an acoustic opening set. And then we have Elixir, which I don't know if anyone knows Elixir, long-standing band in Austin. They play a lot of like Hanover shows and stuff like that. I just did a acoustic night with them, and 333 was also on the bill, who's also playing Skunkfest, and it was a really cool
With Tony Park?
with Tony Park. Yeah.
Tony Park.
Tony Park.
There you go.
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
Tony Park.
I like that.
That's
I
how
haven't
he.
seen that.
That's
before.
how he.
Oh, dude,
introduced
that's how
himself.
Tony introduced himself.
We met him in Houston one time, and he was like, "You know how you can remember my name?" And he pointed at his toe, and he
Oh,
pointed
wow.
at his knee, and then he parked the car.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's-
Tony Park.
That's
Well,
something that
Did-
you don't forget.
did-
ever.
That's-
If
Did
somebody-
Somebody-
Tony Park hit
Has
on
a
your
little
mother,
thing.
Joe,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
all night long?
Tony Park is,
Tony, my mom's not gonna be there this time.
Yeah.
I don't hit on my mom.
Tony
this time.
Tony gave
That's his
Joe's
style.
mom 3 CDs of the same CD.
Tony dated my
For
mom for
free.
14 years. That's just
No
how it
way.
was. Yeah. No. just
Oh, God, man.
and I also
good.
feel
That was
so
good.
horrible for even making that joke. I love you, Mom. I'm
that was a
sorry.
good
I'm a terrible
joke.
person.
No,
All
no,
right,
no.
so
But that's how we remember him. We do remember him by
Tony
by
Park.
his
Wow, I
thing.
like
worked
that.
out.
Next time I see him, I gotta think of a way to introduce myself. Like,
Right?
Man.
We will never forget it because of
Yeah.
what he did. Like, I can't say I'm
That's-
ever gonna forget it.
I could.
Well,
do
yeah,
it.
that
and
guy.
when you said 333,
Yeah,
Oh,
we were like,
333. Yeah.
Tony Park.
That's
the
fucking
guy.
funny,
That's,
dude.
That's the guy.
That's awesome.
So, who actually plays trumpet? Funny enough. Yeah, and
Wow.
I want him to. I want him to play some trumpet. Have you guys
Okay.
heard Mr. Peanut?
We did.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
That was
I played it for you guys last time.
No, we didn't hear it yet. It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It was a departure from
This
Is Death Metal. That's for
yeah,
sure.
I mean that was the intent.
It's a real funky it reminds me of like the theme song for like you did talk about it.
Yeah. Okay.
But it reminds me of like every 70s cop show theme song. It's great.
Totally. And
it's awesome.
It's an anthem for a Persian cat, and there was just like, oh, this cat is so cool. It's got to have a theme song. I just saw this cat out in San Francisco, and it's like, yeah. So that was kind of the intent. We released it on April Fools. It's kind of just a silly.
I actually really like it.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that. So anyway, one of these days I like to perform it live, and funny enough, Tony Park.
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
Maybe he'll even play on it. But anyway, so back to the roster. Elixir will be playing an acoustic kind of rockin' set. We'll have Head Rush, which is the Lone Star School of Music band, playing some kind of rockin' and classic rock. You say classic rock, I mean like everything from Paranoid to Stone Temple Pilots or whatever, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And then we've got Luke and the Lonely, just amazing, as you know. Bobby Bookout, Fair City Fire. Eyetooth, which I haven't talked about. Eyetooth is just like, they played last year too, and I really like these guys. They don't really play much. They're kind of underground, but they're putting out a new EP, I think. And they're one of those like really progressive, interesting bands with like 20-minute songs and crazy stuff like that. So Eyetooth's in the mix. Finite Fidelity again.
Whoop, whoop.
How would you describe Finite? What would you describe their sound?
Proggy, heavy proggy. Yeah.
Prog desert rock.
It's like desert with
yeah.
a little bit of like
that vibe a lot.
Yeah,
I really
it's
like
great.
guys.
They're great. They're good.
Seems like they have a little bit of south of the border influence.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Finite Fidelity, and then Tony Park and 333. Snakeskin Prison with the mighty Matt Ballingy. A good Rogering. Featuring, we've got some really cool like special guests and stuff that we're going to be doing in that. I don't want to give it away, but we're going to do some. We're going to kind of I'll have a few different raffles, and then like sort of before our set, we're going to have a raffle and do like kind of a cool featured spot with Lone Star School of Music student. Then we're going to do. We got The Crowned out of San Antonio, bringing the metal for real, and then we got Runescarred bringing the metal, and then a tribute to Megadeth, Rust in Peace, closing out the night. Yeah, so excited. I think a lot of people have been expressing excitement in that too, and that I'm like stoked about that, man.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really hope I didn't leave anybody out. I don't think I did.
Cool. Well, yeah, you can check it out. So I guess the point of that is buy tickets from those bands, follow them on the social networks, check out Skunk Manhattan, check out Good Rogering, Runescarred, all that stuff online, Fair City Fire. By that time, you guys will have the new single have been released, right?
Yeah, June 8th. That's coming out.
I saw you guys are playing a June 8th show with the new single, so that's killer, man.
It's gonna be really fun. Yeah.
What is it? Keep It Simple.
It's called
Simple Stupid.
Yeah.
Simple Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna be fun. Song's almost totally done, and
yeah, you guys have been doing a DIY.
Yeah, we have
single basically.
Clint's gonna be producing this one, so self-produced.
Yeah, at this point, if you're listening to this, you can probably already find it on Spotify and all the Good Rogering stuff's all on there. Runescarred's on there.
Everybody's on Spotify. I'm having a quick peek at my.
You may have already
make sure I didn't forget anything.
You may have already mentioned this maybe before I got here, but can you buy tickets at the door as well?
Yeah, you can buy tickets at the door. They're a little more. Okay. So. And actually, that's the thing, too. If you buy online, there's going to be surcharges and that kind of stuff, so you will be paying a little more that way. If you buy straight from the bands, that's going to be your absolute lowest cost, and you're supporting the bands directly that way. So that's the route I would encourage people to take. And based on just how much is going on this day, like I said, I feel really good about, I think it's a really fair price, you know.
Yeah, man.
So that's the route I encourage people to take, but you can buy them online for sure. The VIPs are only online. And then we'll also be selling them at the door the day of the show though as well.
Cool.
And tickets going fast.
Like we got
cakes.
some good hype. The cool thing is, man, we really haven't even started hitting the aggressive ads yet or anything, and there's already a really good run of mouth. And I think that's another thing. And that's another thing I thought about, and I was like, I don't know if I'm stretching this too thin, but just by getting a lot of different bands involved, and especially in different styles and genres, I think it opens up a bigger demographic. So. Like some of the advertising we're doing through Lone Star, we're specifically just going advertising to the rock crowd or advertising to the metal crowd. There's different, this offers all of it in the same festival, which most people I've played with, I think, appreciate that too. You get a variety of music throughout the day. I just wanted to mention too, love doing your podcast, of course, But everybody knows Bobby Sharon from Cobra Cast, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So we got Bobby Sharon
that,
coming out emceeing at least part of the show. Fresh Baked Teas is our sponsor, who's actually doing. They were there last year, and they do on-site merch, so it's like really cool. We got this huge trailer thing that'll be set up in front of the venue, and then they basically just have the different designs and prints, and you just order it right there, and they print it there. Yep. So that's cool. La Pera Catering is doing the catering. Their food is incredible. Rockboard Pedals, who's with Warwick and Framus, they're sponsoring. Crosby Pedals sponsoring. Lone Star School of Music. Sims Foundation, Tragan Guitars, Drift Magazine, Guitar Center. We got a lot of sponsors. Okay. Smoking Burnouts. Oh my God, I can't say it. A massage company. It's a strange name. We just talked today. I think I got them on board. I should really look up that name. I feel terrible for.
So you're gonna be able to get massages there, huh?
Yeah, dude. So like, here's the deal with that. Why I look up the name so I don't mispronounce it. Yeah. Oh, there it was.
A couple red-handed massages.
Kalolgie. KALOLOGIE 360 spa massage. Well, what's cool about them? So I'm not positive yet, but I think they're doing like. We'll have massage chairs there. We'll have one for sure, like in the VIP section. But we may figure out a way that people can do that anyway, or maybe we'll have one downstairs. But basically, yeah, they've done this before. They contacted me. We're interested in the event. Yeah, and you can get like a super cheap massage, or they may just work on tips. And also, I think a percentage of what they do gets donated to Austin Pets Alive, so that's kind of cool too. So get in there, get a nice little 10-minute or 15-minute massage, whatever it is. Make a little donation. Cool stuff like that. I may jump in a massage chair myself between sets.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds like
good
a
to me.
thing.
It's a thing, you guys.
Yeah, and we're working on hopefully too. We've got the catering and all that, and so we're kind of talking about seeing if we can get some sort of drink special thing set up or something like that.
Yeah, a little Pepsi sniffing station.
A little Pepsi sniffing station. A little VJ cooking station.
Great.
A little dirt eating station. We're gonna have the works.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
well, thanks for coming on, man. We'll definitely be there. Sounds like a great time.
You should come out there with a microphone, dude. Do on-site interviewing.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
They can't stop me.
They can't stop you. I'll tell security that
you can get away with anything with a microphone. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Good Rogering, Runescarred, Skunkfest, Fair City Fire, June 29th. Woo. Come and take it live. Woo. Love you guys. Miss you. Bye.
Bye.